Welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. That was just a little invitation to let you know that you all are not alone. Before we introduce ourselves and the whole evening, we're gonna get a little dopamine going because it's been a long day. All right, I need to teach my facial expressions how to use their inside voice. How about you all? Let's see some faces of when you don't have that self-discipline. All right, next one. Who says teaching is stressful? I'm 39 and I feel great. For those of you who know me, this beautiful gray, okay, maybe not so beautiful, it wasn't there a year ago pre-COVID. How about for y'all? And this is my favorite one. How about this one, Mama Rashida? I'm not self-medicating with chocolate. The lady at the shop wrote me a prescription. Well, she said it was a receipt. Whatever. Hopefully we're not too self-medicating with chocolate. Lord, give me the strength to hold on until, this says spring break. But how about to the end of this workshop? Snap, 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 if you can relate. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And finally, a little more dopamine. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale some love. If you don't like dogs, inhale cat love. And exhale some gratitude. Give yourselves a great big hug. You got our first invitation from AVAM. AVAM, shout out to them for their generosity in hosting this event and their steadfast compassion and beauty, always of service. This is what we're doing today. And we know that y'all can read, so hopefully you got the memo and that's why you came. You're in the right place. Really, we want you to feel connected and uplifted. And we'll put in the chat box some resources for continued well-being. And then here are some smart boundaries. Mama Rashida, would you be willing to read the smart boundaries for us? And then we'll see if everybody agrees.
Yes, absolutely. Greetings, everybody. These are our smart boundaries. Sincerity. Be you. Speak your truth from your heart. Mindfulness. Be present and give others time to share. Assertiveness. Do what's right for you. You may pass, or you may turn the video on or off, however you like. Respect. Be deeply present without interrupting, judging, or crosstalk. Trust, trustworthiness. Be open, maintain confidentiality.
Oh, so beautifully read. Bless your helpful service, my dear
Yay.
sister.
Thank
So,
you.
thank you. Thumbs up if you all can agree. Thumbs sideways if you're not so sure. Thumbs down if you're like, heck no, we're not doing it. You can't make us. Is there anyone who wants to uplift a different boundary so that you feel open and ready to fully participate? You good to go? All right, well, now we have our boundaries in place. I'm going to pass the talking piece to my dear sister, Rebecca. Take it away, Rebecca.
Thank you so much, Dara. I want to just really welcome, on behalf of the American Visionary Art Museum, everyone tonight who makes an art out of teaching or out of helping, of trying to heal others. Because if you have come tonight to feel cherished, to feel loved, to be strengthened in your capacity to care for others and to teach others, you've really come to the right place. I'm hoping that you will get to see our new exhibition, Healing and the Art of Compassion and the Lack thereof. To understand compassion, we have to understand when its absence occurs throughout our lives. So there are two people. I have known Mama Rashida Foreman Bay and admired for, well, I think it's almost 4 decades. She was a child when I first met her, basically. But she is also the co-founder of the WombWorks. WombWorks is the premier child performance, social justice training. There is nothing like it. Every child you ever saw, child actor on The Wire, came through Mama Rashida's training at WombWorks. So please check that out. And through Mama Rashida, I had the privilege and the joy of meeting Dara. Dara is a passionate educator, as you can see, a heartfelt speaker, author, coach, consultant, and both of them are masters in the training of the Virtues Project. That is something that has been very instructive in their lives. But Dara is also the author of The Heart of Education. This is the title, The Heart of Education, bringing joy, meaning, and purpose back to teaching and learning. But in-house, we have two education jewels. Rebecca Plum, who's our Director of Education, and the most wonderful assistant, and more than that, runs so many programs, Mavet Rosas, who's with us here tonight. So again, we are really lucky that all of us are here to support the deep dive tonight with you all into the heart of compassion.
Thank you, Rebecca. So grateful to you. And I'm not even going to try to do justice to honor and elevate you in your incredible vision for not just bringing to light the art, the issues through art, and transforming souls all over the world. So much love and blessings to you. And so, Mama Rashida, sister friend, let's just workshop this for a minute. You think honor the spirit with story first, and then a little song meditation, or a little song meditation and story first. You get to choose.
Okay, yay. Listen, compassion for you, compassion for me. We care for one another. It's easy, like 1, 2, 3. Compassion for you, compassion for me. Hey, we utilize our compassion so we can feel free. Compassion for you, compassion for me. We are kind to one another so we can feel free. It's so easy to be kind. It's so easy to be kind. It puts a smile on your face, puts joy in your mind. It's so easy to be kind. It's so easy to be kind. It brings a smile on your face. It brings peace to your mind. Smile on your face and peace to your mind. Smile on your face and peace to your mind. Greetings, everybody. Listen, I wanted to share a story because we are a social justice theater company, WombWorks, and we deal with issues that affect young people and their families. And we deal with all kinds of issues, from dating violence to gang violence, drug addiction, drug prevention, all issues, childhood sexual assault, issues that affect young people and their families. And so I really wanted to share, for me, just a story of a real life story, because that's what we do. We use real life stories and we put those stories to on stage. Young people share their stories and we put them on stage, and we add dance and song and all those things to it. But even though we do all of these amazing shows, it is really the process that is most important to us, how we get to these real stories. And I wanted to share that whenever we are working on a particular production, we actually share the stories. Young people get a chance to talk about things that are affecting them. So this particular year, we were doing a show around domestic violence. And there was a young man, and we have, young men and young women in our company. But this year we were very, very top heavy with young men. And it was fun, kind of. Yeah, it was fun. So we had all these young men, and there was one young man who came, and he was he was different than the other young men. He was kind of, a more compassionate and softer young man. He had, some people might say, some even feminine qualities. And So whenever he would come up, the young men would start laughing. And whenever he would kind of stand up, or whenever he would enter the room, they would, kind of snicker and laugh a little bit. So we all had to write stories about our most violent situations. And all of us wrote and people shared. And then it was this young man's turn to share. And what he shared was that he was born into a family of rage, is what he wrote. He said, my mother used drugs, and I was taken from my mother and I was given to my grandmother. And she said, I had a very beautiful life then. And then my grandmother died. And then I was given to my aunt. And he said, and when I moved with my aunt, I was 6 years old. And every night, his cousins took turns sexually assaulting him. He was assaulted every other night. So right in that moment, all those young men who snickered, they got up, they formed a circle around this young man. And each one of them, they took turns and they hugged him. And they said, man, we so sorry. Oh my God, man, you're so strong. Somebody said, you're so resilient. Oh man, I don't know if I could even dealt with that. Man, you're so wonderful. When this young man first started, we did a dance that was like a warrior dance. And when he would do the dance, he kind of did it with his arms down, but the warrior dance is done like this. Right after we finished, we started the warrior dance and the drumming, and his arms were up. And he danced the warrior dance, because it didn't matter how he, what his sexual orientation was. It was that in this moment, some young people showed him compassion, and he was able to lift his arms up and be strong again because of that compassion. So I wanted to share that story because it's a real story and it was a true story. And it is important for us to be full of love and to be full of compassion for one another. Love, 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 love. People, we were made for love. Love each other as ourselves, for we are one. Love, 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 love. People, we were made for love. Love each other as ourselves, for we are one. One love. That's my true story. That's Woundwork style. Ashe.
Ashe. Mama Rashida, so beautiful. Thank you so much for your generosity of spirit and bringing the truth and centering us in reality of many of our youth in Baltimore City and in other places. So now, dear friends, anchored in some of the reality, what we'd like to do is help you put your oxygen masks on. I want to share with you the science of the lesson plan this evening. Hopefully, can everybody see without the gray boxes? You good? Thank you, Jenny Lee. Neighbor Kensington, hi, for nodding and letting me know. So let's just start with ourselves. How many of you all are a little bit stressed lately? Nod or thumbs up, right? Like this pandemic and the cost of caring is kicking our rear ends and our hearts. So when we have going through stress, we have the hormone of cortisol, as many of you know, and it gives us energy. However, when we have this ongoing stress or perceived stress, and we have the cortisol going through our bodies, a lot of the time, almost all of the time, it starts to impact our ability to think straight and our overall health and well-being. Have you ever tried to lose weight when you're stressed? Ha! Good luck with that, right? We need to keep that sugar, that supply of energy. It's also our heart. And there's just a lot of health issues that come from too much stress. And when we try to think, when we try to access our prefrontal cortex when we're super stressed, we can't. We get stuck in our amygdala and we flip our lids. Have you ever flipped your lids or lost your shiitake mushrooms? Said or done something that you're like, oh man, I can't believe I just did that? What was I thinking? Well, you weren't, and neither was I. And this happens a lot when we're stressed. So here's the lesson plan that we encourage you to use, not just in school, also for life. So begin with dopamine. It can be with something fun or funny, and even prayer. And it produces pleasure. And since you all are muted at the top of your lungs, what does dopamine say? Yahoo! Right? So just do this and smile. Just a light smile. Not the cheesy, you're already annoyed at me smile, because that changes our biology and our brain waves as well. Then we're going to do a little bit of breathing soon. Well, I hope you're breathing now. Please keep breathing, especially on our watch. And it increases our serotonin. For those of us like me and others who have experienced our own trauma, our bodies don't necessarily produce the regular, whatever that means, amount of serotonin. And so sometimes we take prescriptions. However, with breathing and other strategies, focusing on gratitude, we can actually increase that neurotransmitter of serotonin. And it induces calm. And show me what calm says. Say it out loud, friends, because that's a meditation in and of itself, right? At the end of this workshop, when you turn off Zoom and you're going to go, that's helping. All right. The next one is connection. We need that oxytocin. It's those neurotransmitter that helps to build relationships. And what does it say? So this is not a sit and get for very much longer. You are going to be going into breakout rooms. You may share, you don't have to, but I'm just giving you a warning. And then finally, we need to move our bodies, because that increases our endorphins, which lowers our pain, increases our well-being. And what does it say? Woo! So run in place, everybody. We've already been sitting too long. Go ahead. Run, 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 run. Maybe twist your body. Give yourself a little bend. Put those shoulders, roll those shoulders back. Yeah, do what Joanna's doing. And roll your head. And now I'm going to invite you to remember who we truly are. This is going to be our mindful moment. You may close your eyes, lower your gaze, keep your video on, turn it off. And as you're listening to this song, or actually watching it as well, just notice how you're feeling in your body. Taking some nice deep breaths, perhaps putting your hand on your chest and one on your belly. And notice what feelings come up for you. And here we go. This is who we really are. Yes, you are. Compassion starts with ourselves. So checking in. Those of us who don't have the talent of Mama Rashida gotta go get it from YouTube. Okay, just saying. So checking in with yourself, and you can put it in the chat box if you wish. How are you feeling right now? You feeling great? You feeling good? Feeling okay? Meh, struggling on empty. And share only if you wish to. Just noticing. So feeling like I'm light, tired, but hopeful. Meh. And really be honest. Hopeful. Oftentimes we ask people that, they're like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good, right? So somewhere in between meh and okay, drained and sad, sending so much love, feeling okay. Day didn't get caught up in everything, present for now, tired, struggling, hopeful. So overscheduled, taking care of others seems to be most important right now, but it is really tiring. Absolutely. Many of us are taking care of so many other people, not ourselves. And so that's a little bit of what we're inviting here today. So I want to share this other quick video, and then we'll talk a little bit about compassion fatigue, burnout, vicarious trauma, and moral injury. And then we'll do a virtues pick and jump into breakout rooms so that you all can connect with each other. So, how are you really?
Hey. Good. Good, thank you.
I'm well, thank you.
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
It's a beautiful day. I'm totally great. How am I really? Oh gosh.
Anxious, maybe? Stressed?
I worry that I'm not working hard enough.
I feel guilty.
I feel that I'm expected to be a certain person.
I'm trying not to drink right now.
I find myself censoring what I say.
I'm gonna go follow my dreams. I'm gonna do what I wanna do.
You start dating someone, my mother, she's not very supportive of it. It was hard for me to hear that she's not happy for me.
My dad is in remission, so that's like huge weight has been lifted.
I recently became a widow. I'm beginning to miss my husband as he was before he had a stroke. That was hard.
Fear of the unknown, that can bring me down.
My mom is 87 years old. I was supposed to go there to date, but I just couldn't bear the thought of getting on another airplane. She's sitting there by herself, and I'm walking around New York. You know, it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard not to drink, but I'm trying right now. I mean, the only reason I got my hair cut today was because the sign said free Prosecco. And then I was like, a water, please. Yeah.
I feel great. I feel a little better just talking to you guys, so.
I just had the greatest experience.
I feel calm and confident.
These are thoughts that I guess I wouldn't have thought I was even thinking or holding on to, and it's kind of nice to let them go.
Thank you.
I'm enjoying talking to you.
Ask someone, how are you really? The hope.
So part of the punchline of this is we've got to connect and we need a circle. And hopefully there's some restorative practices, healing-centered engagement, something happening in your schools and communities where you're able to circle up. And how many of you all are familiar with compassion fatigue? Oh, yes, a couple people. If you notice this slide, the title is There's an Error. And I'd love to say that initially that was on purpose, and it's not. However, now it is on purpose. How many of you, oh, you know what, I'm doing a terrible thing. I'm talking at you and reading. I'm gonna give you a second to read the slide, and then I'll chat with you. Go ahead and read and see if you can relate to any of this. All right. So nod, heart, or thumbs up if you can relate. It says social workers, it's educators, it's moms, it's caregivers, it's nurses, it's a whole bunch of people. Oh yeah, all of it. There's a cost of caring. And how many of you all, like me, in your brains on a daily basis, please forgive the language I'm about to use, say to yourself, I really suck. This sucks. Oh my goodness, I can't believe. And then you like hit yourself upside the head kind of a thing, right? Our normal ideal and maybe commitment to excellence and our ability to really bring forward perhaps what even we used to be able to do pre-pandemic, we don't have it in us right now. And a lot of it has to do with compassion fatigue and vicarious trauma. I'm going to stop sharing so we can have a heart to heart. Does that make sense? There's a cost of caring. And so what happens is we care, we give compassion, and we give, and we give, and we give, and we give, and we give. And then our reservoir of compassion is really drained. And so we may know that our students, our children, our colleagues, our patients have so much trauma going on. We know that, and we're still like, okay, but you need to have your homework in on time. And okay, but you need to come to your appointment on time. And okay, right? There's that disconnect. How many of you all have a really short fuse right now? Right? With yourself. Are you like losing your shiitake mushrooms all over the place? Don't you give me that look, because it just gonna might put me over the edge, right? And especially the ones closest to you, right? Your loved ones, your dear friends. It's the cost of caring. And there's a lot of research about it right now. And there has been. Nursing, healthcare, and education are running parallel tracks. We really are. So there's things that we can do about it. One is circling up, being in circle. And actually, hi, Christine, I have a circle sister where every Friday there's 3 of us and we get together for an hour and we just share. Do y'all have some sisters or other people that you can circle up with? A walking buddy to be able to honestly share where you are. All right, so we need that connection. We need to have some exercise. So while you're sharing about how frustrated and angry or upset you are and overwhelmed, move. Talk on the phone and move. Everybody start moving right now. Get up. You don't have to. You're probably exhausted. But honestly, you can. I'm standing up right now. I'm moving. I have one of those little rolly things under my desk because if I have to Zoom and sit, I can't think. And so when we're moving, that's going to help our overall well-being, right? Getting a buddy with a friend. And breath. Let's just PBS. Pause, breathe, and smile. Take a nice deep breath. Hold it. And exhale longer than your inhale. That can help you settle. So relationships and breath can make all the difference in the world. Anybody want to add? I'm giving you kindergarten explanation. All right. There's one other term that I've learned that that many of us are experiencing, and it's called moral injury. I think it primarily comes out of healthcare, however, in education, big time right now. So moral injury is when we're asked to do things that literally go against our morals and our values. So let's just imagine that we teach in a school where there is a dress code and uniforms. You all familiar with that, right? And that as educators, if a student who, by the way, lives with one parent They don't have a washing machine or a dryer in their apartment. They only can wash clothes once a week because they have to get on the bus, right? And it's either washing clothes or maybe having dinner that evening. You know, I'm speaking truth right now, right? So that student comes to school on time, ready to learn one day without their uniform. Yay! And the school policy is, if you don't wear your uniform, yeah, Mimi's pointing, you go to the office and you either have detention or you have to wear that t-shirt of shame or something else. When we as educators are asked to do things like that to students, that's just a small example of moral injury. Can you feel me and are you with me? All right. So no wonder we're feeling the way that we're feeling. And there's things that we can do to take care of ourselves. So with that, what we're going to do right now is a virtues pick. And Mama Rashida, you want to introduce the virtues pick, and then we'll send people into breakout rooms for some sharing for about 10 minutes.
These are from Virtue's reflection cards, and this virtue, of course, is compassion. Compassion is deep empathy for another who is suffering or living with misfortune. It is understanding and caring and a strong desire to ease their distress. Compassion flows freely from our hearts when we let go of judgments and seek to understand. Our compassionate presence helps people to know they are not alone. Sometimes they don't need us to fix anything. They only need to be heard with compassion so that they can connect to their own inner wisdom. We need our own compassion as much as others do. Whether a silent prayer or a gentle touch, compassion is a priceless gift. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. The Dalai Lama. The practice of compassion. I notice when someone is hurt or needs a friend. I feel empathy for the pain of others. I take time to reach out to those who need help. I'm sorry, my computer did something and I lost your page. Here we go. I care for others by listening deeply. I refrain from judging. I have compassion for myself. I am thankful for the gift of compassion. It stirs my heart. Wow.
Thank you so much for your helpful service, reading that so beautifully, always, always. So friends, what I'm going to do is I want to share a Padlet with you before we go into breakout rooms so that you can actually see that you have access to a bunch of materials, and also you'll have access to this card in case you want the visual. So here in the, please click on the link in the chat box and let me just share with you. Can you all see the Padlet, the purple? All right, so you have access to this. On the left side under presentation, this is the whole presentation. You can click on it, it has the links embedded. And then here is the compassion card. So when you're in your breakout rooms, you can have access to it if you wish. Thank you for your thoughtfulness sharing. Okay, this means me too. I saw a lot of people nodding, right? And snap, snap. So I want to share a tool with you. It's actually the Virtues Cards app. And it's a free sample download. It's kind of hard to see, but you can shake and the Virtues cards come up. You can double tap to flip. You can share them, and I'll put it in the chat box. It's Virtues Cards, and it's on Google and Apple, and there are multiple texts. But if you yes, I created the app with my husband, but I didn't create the cards. The founders of the Virtues Project created the cards, and they changed my life so much that I really needed to create an app to spread it for everyone so you can have the cards in the palm of your hand. Now, whether you use the Virtues cards or some other inspiring reading, I encourage you to do the plan. So pick daily. I shake my phone and a card randomly comes up. You can open up inspirational book or your favorite playlist, right? So pick daily. The L is for look for the good in yourself first and then others. This is strength-based, friends. We're all doing the best that we can. Then acknowledge and appreciate often. So that there's a lot of research on gratitude. When we think about things that we're grateful for, it actually changes our state of being. And we start to see things more through that lens. And it makes enough bountiful. Have you all noticed that in COVID, if you've been able to walk places or take some time for yourself, right? So acknowledge and appreciate often. And in the app, you can actually share the love. You can send a virtue card to somebody with a little inspiration. And then the N is notice the teachable moments. When we make a mistake, don't beat ourselves up. We just get to invite ourselves back, perhaps to a virtue that would be helpful. And so the language of virtues, that's the acronym for love, language of virtues every day, everywhere, with everyone, is we identify the virtue and what's the evidence or the success criteria. And we do a whole workshop around virtues language and the 5 strategies. And so, for example, thank you for your thoughtfulness, calling me to make sure I am doing okay. Thank you for your generosity of time spending the evening with us. It's just been really a joy. So gratitude can help us with compassion. And I'm going through this super quickly. Boundaries can help us have compassion. Things I'm no longer apologizing for. Working at a slower pace, not always being available. Just because they call doesn't mean gotta answer. How long it takes to process my feelings and not knowing the answer right away. Accepting my body as it is. Okay, maybe one day. And prioritizing people that matter. Put yourself at the top of the list. All right, I want to end with a water trick, a little magic trick for you all, and then turn it back over to Mama Rashida after this and Rebecca. So, friends, oh my goodness, here we go. We all come into the world with all the virtues in us and potential. We start the school year full of clarity and idealism. And then things happen. What are some things? Type them in the chat box. Maybe we have to teach in a pandemic and we got to get online and offline. Maybe we lose people that we love. Maybe we're deep into some kind of addiction due to our trauma. There's so many things that can cloud us, knowing our inherent nobility and tapping into our idealism. However, when we remember to take care of ourselves, call on some self-compassion, connect in circle with people we love and love us, do some breathing, move a little bit, listen to music that we love, have an attitude of gratitude and recognize teachable moments. Not only do we get back to that clarity, but we're even stronger, more resilient beings. It has been a joy and an honor to be in circle with you all. We wish you much joy, meaning, purpose, and peace, always and in all ways. And with that, just want to let you know on the Padlet that I added my link to my free PDF of my book and the free audio and a song called Be the Light that I don't have time to play with you. So with that, Mama Rashida, back to you, and then back to Rebecca.
Hey, you know what? You all can just, right where you are, I want you to sing, okay? Repeat after me. I am open to the joy.
I am open to the joy
the universe has for me.
the universe has for me.
I am open to the joy.
I am open to the joy
the universe has for me.
the universe has for me.
I am open to the joy.
I am open to the joy
the universe has for me.
the universe has for me.
I am open and I am free.
I am open and I
am free.
I am open.
I am open.
I'm transforming me.
I'm
transforming me.
Everybody love, 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 love. People, we were made for love.
Love, 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 love. People, we were made for love.
Love each other as ourselves.
Love each other as ourselves.
We are one. Put your ones up.
We are one.
For we are one.
We are one.
Much love. Love and peace, everybody. Rebecca.
Oh, I just want to thank every person who was here tonight, and to say, particularly to Dara and to Rashida, thank you for your friendship, which comes across when you collaborate so beautifully, and the fact you were drawn so much to get so much out of the Virtues Project, which you have both shared with me and everyone tonight. I love the water lesson. I wanted to say something that I think for me is a little, a kind of a question. We have in our exhibition the quote that you use on the Compassion Virtues card, which says, if you want to be happy, it's the Dalai Lama who said this, practice compassion. And if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. And I feel that I don't experience compassion fatigue. Because I find when I'm sincerely in compassion, it is a high. And I feel very, it's such a circle of giving back. When I'm really communicating with someone on that level, it's like skating on light. Where I find what is fatiguing is when what you want to do is that. And there are, in our chat with Linda and with Margot, what gets us down is when a structure like a school or an administration or a workplace or policies set up barriers to the practice of compassion. And that's what I find to be the most tiring. I don't know if anybody else kind of feels like that.
That's in part moral injury, Rebecca.
Yeah, even in the system. Yeah, sure. Yeah, just an amazing group of people tonight. And if they're really hurting, I hope that there will be skills and contacts I gave out, my cell phone tonight to the two people because I love them so much who were in my chat. So I felt like all the cherries all came up on the, in Vegas or something. And I don't gamble, but I won a lottery tonight being with Marco and Linda and hearing how they are practicing compassion in their own lives. And I'm sure each of you has such a profound story. So on that note, please, our exhibition will be up. We're doing a teacher night. Is Mavette or Becca's there? When is going to be our teacher educator free experience? If you could get it out to everybody, if you're not right there, to post it. We do a free educator experience, and I really hope you will come and feel this. It's my last exhibition. I've worked, I've created 41 original exhibitions, 26 mega, and I poured my heart in this healing and the art of compassion. And I thank you all for being such a magnifying force of that tonight. And I hope that your school, your institution will perhaps consider taking on, like, one book, one city, the focus on healing and compassion in your own voice, in your own way, so that we can magnify that in a city and in a country that isn't so in need of that right now. I think more than ever.
Thank you, Rebecca. And to the Educator Resources, I just shared in the chat to everyone our website, avam.org/learn. We'll be updating more resources on compassion and for this show in the near future. It's like, give it a week, hopefully by November 1st. And yeah, just keep an eye on that. With COVID, in-person events are quite hard, so we'll see what we can plan in the near future, but any updates will definitely be live on our website when they become available.
And again, we will have our compassion curriculum K through 12 totally free on our website, loaded with tons of lesson plans. A lot of thanks to Dara and to Mama Rashida, but many resources that we've pulled from Stanford University all the way across, and local educators. So that will go live by the latest November 1st. Mama Rashida, you always bring me to happy tears. There's nobody like you.
Hey, love you, Rebecca. Thank you so much for all you give and have given. It's a wonderful thing to say, to know somebody that just gives to the world, like literally, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's everyone tonight.
All right. Peace and bless. This was beautiful.
They're wonderful.
Sharing.
So much love and gratitude to Mavette and Becca, who were the wind beneath our wings organizing this as well.
And one more thing, it's free. Our dear friend is Louie Schwartzberg, Louie Schwartzberg, SCH Schwartzberg, does a program that we're now playing again because it was so popular, called Gratitude. And it begins with this little blonde girl who's kind of picking her nose and speaking, but she's like speaking so from her heart. And it goes to this unbelievable place. It's one of the most exquisite deep dives on the subject of gratitude I've ever seen. And he's given it to the world on Google or whatever, on the web. Thank you, Mavette, for being here. And thank you, Becca. Thank you, Dara. Thank you, everybody. And my Rashida.